This month on Community, we are celebrating the original Western New Yorkers.
Right, it is Native American Heritage Month. We are all about culture on this show.
And we're at Native American Community Services in the library. I usually avoid libraries, but I love this room.
Because we like to learn. Hi, I'm Claudine Ewing.
And I'm Pete Gallivan.
Welcome to Community.
In honor of Native American Heritage Month, we are at Native American Community Services with Mike Martin. And tell me, we've done a lot of things over the years, you know, when it comes to the residential schools, when that came. Tell me how the mission here at Knox has changed over the years to kind of go along with what's happening in the community.
Yeah, we're celebrating 50 years in the community. We started in 1975. Originally trying to help unemployment as a way to help our people out of poverty in the 70s. And as you know, we've always sort of evolved with the needs of the community. Of course, you know, at the time we had a lot of high rates of alcoholism, so trying to get people a job or retain a job, right. Obviously you got to remove that as a barrier. And then you start working with an individual who has maybe alcoholism or substance use issue, and then they have a family attached to them. Well, now you got to deal with like domestic violence, child abuse and neglect. And so we keep evolving as we find those barriers to our people's needs to thrive.
It seems like you're looking at the whole person.
Oh, absolutely. We look at it very holistically. You know, we feel very intertwined culturally with the world around us, with the natural world. We give thanks to it as part of our Gunonyo or our Thanksgiving address.
When NACS was first coming in 50 years ago,
yeah.
You had pockets, a lot of Senecas and Mohawks on the west side,
yep.
But there wasn't a lot of connectivity with the territories.
Yeah, there's always been a strong urban population from the Seneca territory. We also have the Tuscarora Nation here in Niagara County. A lot of people came from the largest territory in southern Ontario, like my ancestors, from the Six Nations of the Grand River Territory.
I didn't mean to separate you.
Yeah, but the Senecas do have a presence. And we've also had strong pockets, especially in the city of Buffalo on the west side, Lower West Side, then we came up to the Black Rock Riverside area, and then we've kind of spread out even into the outer ring suburbs. There's always been a pocket in South Buffalo, and so as Native American Community Services, there has been historically a divide between urban natives and those that are living on the territories. We've been trying to break down those divides as our community travels between and through each of the different territories, but we've been working better together and recognizing that we all have to do that. We've added a lot more positive, strength-based cultural programming, and so just because you're here doesn't mean you have issues. It just means that we're celebrating each other, lifting each other up.
You've been here 50 years. How many people have you served?
Oh my gosh, thousands, probably tens of thousands. We probably get about 2,500 a year that we touch. We're a small but mighty organization, but we recognize we can't do it all ourselves. And we recognize, and we want to have more opportunities for our people as well. So we do a ton of cultural competency training. And we feel when we are out there giving those teachings and those workshops that it's a gift that we share, but it all comes back to us in the end.
Because we all need to know.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, 50, yeah, another 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great for Western New York.
We are the future of our language, Anodowaka Gowano.
The State Education Commissioner hearing from students in Gowanda, Lakeshore, and Silver Creek school districts. Educators say this program provides students with academic assistance and opportunities to infuse culture into the school day.
Having culture in school is so important. It makes a true impact on our students' day. It makes an impact on their school experience.
In addition to learning the Seneca language, students are participating in hands-on activities like creating beaded moccasins and making clay pots. Students later use those clay pots during an outdoor cooking class where they were taught to cook traditional Native American food over a fire. One student says in addition to these lessons, playing lacrosse makes him feel closer to his culture.
The game is also known as the medicine game, so it helps heal us mentally, physically. Many of us are born with a lacrosse stick in our hands. Some are passed down. This one was passed down to me by my grandfather.
It's more than language, it's culture, it's artistry, it's science, it's STEM and engineering, it's applying the skills they learn here in classes out into the community, mentoring younger students, being a role model for the community and thinking about what they want to do with their lives beyond Lakeshore and our high school.
The work that we are collectively doing, meaning the school, the community, and our department and our Board of Regents, is really taking hold.
We want them to enjoy being here, and part of that is having part of who they are in the day.
Ely Parker, born in the 1800s, a member of the Tonawanda Seneca Nation, a Seneca leader, studied engineering and law, but he was denied being admitted to the Bar Association.
But in 1847, he was denied admission to the bar, not because he lacked ability, but because he was Native and not considered a United States citizen.
Ely Parker's posthumous admission to the New York Bar today is only the 8th such admission in United States legal history. It is the first involving a Native American. It should not be the last.
Parker was born in 1828, Haudenosaunee, on the Tonawanda Seneca Territory.
Today, the court's action, I would put it to you, is not merely symbolic. It rights a historic wrong, and it demonstrates that the justice has no expiration date.
Today is Ely's triumph, but it is also all of ours too. For we stand victorious over the prejudice of the past.
For the Parker family, this honor is long overdue, but it's the right time.
And it's important for our kids to see that we always had the ability to practice law, but we were prevented. And I think it's an important message for our youth to know that we are capable, we are smart.
He did things not really to be recognized. I think he did righteous things for the people.
It's really important that everyone gathered here today was here to acknowledge that we will not allow others to erase us.
My name is Mark Montour. I am a Mohawk. Ganawage and Akwesasne are my roots.
Honorable Mark Montour is an Associate Justice, Appellate Division, 4th Department in New York State.
I am the first Native American ever to be elected to a state-level judicial position in the state of New York. I'm honored, I'm humbled to have this position, and it comes with a responsibility. Significant responsibility. I am the chairman of the New York Tribal Courts Committee. It is a standing committee of the Chief Judge. You may wonder, gee, Mark, why you got a nice suit, but how come you're not wearing your robe like others do? And what I connected, and many connect, the black robe with the priests from the boarding schools and the horrific events that took place with those children, whether taken from their families, their haircut, their religion, their customs, they couldn't practice the language. So many suffered. Food, medicine wasn't really generally supplied. Many died, many perished. So, from the time I became a judge in '96, a town judge, I didn't wear a robe. And when I was elected to the Supreme Court, and in this courthouse, my courtroom was Part 4, I didn't wear a robe. And to me, that it was one way of me honoring those who have suffered in the boarding schools. Today I do wear a robe.
Coming up next on Community, we are continuing our celebration of Native American Heritage Month.
And an honor flight of a lifetime for some local women. Welcome back to Community.
And now we're going to turn our attention to sports. Kind of. We all know lacrosse is a big part of Native culture, but it is more than just a sport. It is the creator's game, and it is also known as the medicine game.
And the game of lacrosse was played even before the creation of the earth in our stories. So when you hear that, You know, it really brings us back to the origins and understandings of what that means to the Haudenosaunee people and many Native nations, that it was with us even before this land was here, even before the waters were here, that we had a version and understanding of it.
The Creator gave us this game to honor Him with. So you play it with a good mind and a good heart.
It takes away all the pains, all the sorrows. You're just free for the day.
To me personally, I feel like it helps heal your mind, your body, and your soul.
But it's not only the game itself, it's about tradition, passed down through generations, like the art of stick making, picking out the right tree, usually hickory or ash, splitting the logs, steaming the wood to soften it, and then bending it in these metal forms. And then comes the fine woodworking to give the stick its final shape before the string goes in. It's important because a lacrosse stick is often the first thing a newborn receives. Rod made this miniature stick for his child, who was due any day when we spoke.
They feel the spirit of the game in them when they're born, so that will immediately go. Taking it to the hospital, putting it in his little crib, and he's going to have it just as soon as he's born. It's one of the first things he's going to have.
And just as promised, when Arenda Herring was born last month, the stick was with him. And it's fitting because for many, the game is a link between the past and the future.
It can be in the way of playing with your ancestors and your brothers and everybody that comes to play. And the camaraderie and love and spirit behind it, that's medicine.
And Dr. Rodney Herring knows a thing or two about medicine. He is also the chair of the Department of Indigenous Cancer Health at Roswell Park.
So when we play, he's happy. When we play, we're happy, and our communities are happy.
But he also believes that Western medicine and traditional beliefs can go hand in hand.
It could mean me going into the forest here to get wood to make lacrosse sticks. That's part of the medicine of being healthy and physical activity and being at one with your environment, understanding it. This is where it all brings us back to in our understandings and love for the game, is being here. This is who we are. And so I'll run through these woods here. And as I'm running, you know, that's part of like connecting, and I'll have my stick and I'll be playing, you know, dodging trees and cross-checking, and I'll be playing here in the woods. And it's really important to connect with that. And as I'm going through the forest, I'm looking at different trees. I'm looking at trees, not only ones that might be good for sticks, but I'm also looking for medicine. I'm also looking for good hunting spots. I'm also looking for good fishing spots. In the springtime, I may be looking for wild onions for our traditional soups. So it's all part of that, part of the game. That's part of the medicine of understanding who we are. That's part of the medicine of the game. So it isn't just what you see on the field. It's this. This is the game.
November is the month that we also salute veterans. And so recently there was an all-women honor flight.
Yeah, the first ever. Alyssa Clausel took the trip with them.
A hero send-off. Is only right for these Western New York veterans embarking on the trip of a lifetime.
Very excited for this trip.
This group of women, none a stranger to the front lines of history, once again finding themselves at the forefront of FIRST.
I opened the doors for a lot of people, and so did everybody else. Yes.
The first ever all-women's Buffalo Niagara Honor Flight, a journey that takes veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit the memorials and the monuments that honor their service.
I did not expect the tears at the very start of this.
It's a trip full of emotion, not just for the 35 veterans aboard, but for the partners and guardians honored to join them.
It means a lot that we're being able to, take all of our veterans and be able to be a part of their story.
And then they were off. The first stop, the World War II Memorial, where Jeff Miller, the man who helped start the National Honor Flight Network, was there to greet the woman, broadening the meaning of service and sacrifice.
It's just beautiful.
I mean, you see how diverse it's become and how inclusive it is to make sure nurses who've kept all these people put back together and getting home and to get the attention that they earned and deserve. It's very gratifying.
And the Vietnam Veterans Memorial hit home for veterans like Chief Wendy York.
This one is important because I just lost a very, very close friend who flew during Vietnam.
Through conflict and loss, one thing always kept them going. Letters from home.
Mother Brown, Aunt Frances, I just want to take a moment to tell you how much you mean to me. It took such courage, especially as a young black woman, stepping into such a difficult time.
These women creating a family of their own on this trip.
One of the girls did say, I don't even know half your names, but I feel like I've known you girls forever. And I turned around and I said to her, ditto.
Sisters in arms, their mission complete, returning home once again to the ones they fought for.
I expected maybe a few from what I'd heard, but not anything like this at all.
A hero's welcome, because you can't spell hero without her.
Also in the month of November, many of you went to the polls.
Yeah, and this year, Election Day was a groundbreaking election day.
Historic for many. There was something happening where the Democrats gathered on election night in Erie County. Voters in the town of Amherst made history. They elected John Davis, bringing diversity to the town board. He has served on committees, including the planning board. Davis is an energy project manager for a company leading infrastructure projects for municipal clients. In January, he'll be sworn in.
Amherst Democrats made it plain and clear they are ready for progress. They're ready for the first black councilman in Western New York and Amherst. What? Yes!
Now to the town of Cheektowaga.
And my good friend Tiffany Lewis, who's the first black woman to ever be elected to the town board in Cheektowaga.
Why did you want to do this? Why did you decide you needed to run to make history or to make a difference?
So I wanted to run to make a difference in our community and also to allow young people to have hope so that they can see the power of unification and also a black woman to break glass ceilings.
Tiffany Lewis says she will work to make sure residents get resources needed to thrive. She is the founder of the Confident Girl Mentoring Program and has worked for a state senator and a city councilman. Pause. Take a look at the graphic on your screen. 1 in 11 children in Western New York will lose a sibling or parent by age 18.
Bereaved children are 175% more likely to develop substance use disorder. Every adverse life outcome, is more probable in a bereaved child. So grief support isn't nice, it's imperative.
Gwen Myziak heads Western New York Compassion Connection, a center for grieving children and families.
Data shows even infants grieve. We work with children here as little as 4 years old that come in. We have a family group. We have 24 children in our current family group, and these kids are 4, 5, 6 years old. They know why they're here, for them to meet other people who have also, lost a dad or a sibling.
And there are age-appropriate rooms for children where trained facilitators will work with them.
We have a lot of widows coming here, young widows whose kids are little, who will say how much it pains them that their child might never remember the day-to-day of their dad or mom being here.
He was 11 when his dad died. The Compassion Center has been instrumental.
We grouped him with other children who had gone through a similar loss, and he was able to participate with them.
Learning that to grieve is natural.
He's thriving. He really is thriving. And the thing that I've learned is, even when they're thriving, he's always going to live with the grief. He's always going to be the kid that doesn't have the father.
There's a lot of pressure on grieving people to get on with it, get over it. You can't fix it. Grieving people beat themselves up that they're not doing it right, they're not doing it fast enough.
Myziak doesn't just recite stats, it's personal.
Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, went from this avid grief professional advocating, for better grief support in Western New York to a 50-year-old widow and a mom to 3 grieving children.
Compassion Connection also has a school-based program where they bring grief support to students.
We're challenging schools right now to come up with better policies to track bereavement across schools and as a child ages, knowing that they're going to carry that grief with them throughout their entire school career. Some of the things that we like to encourage teachers to consider when a child is grieving is that what might look like a behavior or an outburst or a child being maybe lazy and not working as hard isn't what it appears to be. It's that grief is the root of that, and maybe they're having a hard day missing their person. And so just following up with those students and asking, hey, how are you doing today? And knowing that they can change from moment to moment and day to day.
Coming up next on Community,
celebrating Deion Dawkins and the music of Boney James.
Who more deserving than my boy, Deion? He works hard for this city. We love this city. Go Bills!
There's so many players that come through here. They don't have to accept them. Oh, well, he's here for a year. Oh, cool. Like, we're going to get our quick fix and he's out, right? But they have accepted me and accepted my family. And I think that that's one of the most beautiful things that somebody can ask for.
Any place I can go play my horn with my band with a crowd that's digging it is great. But this town has been particularly friendly.
It's something about your music, right? It seems to resonate with all types of people, all crowds, and it also shows the purity of music.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. That feels great to hear. I'm just trying to make music that makes me feel a certain way. I love music that can relax me or inspire me or, take me out of day to day and just put me in that wonderful space that music can put you in.
What is it about October in London? How did you two hook up, and how did that collaboration go?
He's an incredible singer. He's a young guy, but we share a sensibility, sort of retro, modern kind of thing. So I just put him on my list of people that I might eventually want to collaborate with. I was then working on this song that became the track that we did together called All I Want Is You.
But there was that one performance that caused everybody to pause for a moment. You want to talk about that and what happened afterward?
People often ask me about my most memorable moments on stage, and this is right up there. I was saying, "Thank you, good night, Buffalo," as I do with the horn over my head, and I turned around to walk off stage, and I caught my leg on the edge of the keyboard riser and just face planted down on the ground. And smashed my horn with all of that velocity on the ground and really messed the horn up, wouldn't play at all, and bruised myself, tore my favorite suit. I mean, it was a nightmare in front of the audience. So that's a big Buffalo memory. Did manage to get the horn fixed the next day. David Sanborn hooked me up with his New York City-based repairman, and so no harm, no foul, really. But that was at the Buffalo State.
Another packed month here on Community.
Yeah, we celebrated the Native American culture right here in Western New York, and then we celebrated music as well as some women who were doing a first.
And that guy who got the key to the city.
Yeah.
No, not T.O. D.D.
You already know. That's what they say. Thanks so much for joining us on Community. We'll see you in December.